What's going on, guys? So this is going to be an interesting video. I hope you saw the video where I introduced the new Bluetti AC240 240 watt 1536 watt hour power station that is IP65 rated, which means this is capable of operating in relatively harsh conditions with rain, blowing sand and dust. I mean, this is just a really, really cool breakthrough in terms of this type of product because it's never really been offered before. And still includes the 30 amp RV connection, two 110 or 120 volt connections here, USB-C, USB-A, has nice little rubber caps for everything, a 12 volt cigarette lighter style. You can link this to other battery packs, but keep in mind if they're not waterproof, you might not want to do that. But today, we are going to put this to the test. And you might ask how. You know, I could always spray it with a water hose, which will probably be something we do. But I think the conditions are right for us to set this out in the yard next to the one that I built, my little homemade one, and use this to recharge that one out in the elements. So what are the elements looking like these days? Hang tight, I'll be right back. So I'd have to say, this probably qualifies as out in the elements. So we have it loaded up in the back of the golf cart. See if I can get the screen to come back on. 100% charged. Probably going to get some water on the lens while I do this. Let's go ahead and drive this out. It has been fluctuating between incredibly hard downpour and a mild rain, and I'm getting poured on right now. But yeah, let's get this thing out in the yard, plugging into the power station I made, and get that thing recharging with this. Okay, so I got my wife in the golf cart next to me. Want to say hi to everyone?
Hey everyone.
So it's pretty nasty weather right now, right?
Yeah, nice and wet weather.
But we needed the rain, so.
We did.
All right, so the goal here is that I'm gonna unload the battery box and we are gonna charge this battery box with that battery box. Now this battery box is something I made on my own. This is not something that's ever produced or manufactured, but I am going to go ahead and get it unloaded, and I'm gonna plug it in with an extension cord to that one to get that one charged up, which is actually a pretty good idea because the charger is going to be able to draw 5 amps, and these lights and everything, I'll show you in a second, are only pulling about 4.5 amp, and that is probably on the verge of dying since we've had weather like this all day and these solar panels are barely pumping any power into the battery, considering the fact that the inverter and everything like that is pulling a small parasitic draw. So let's go ahead and get this thing connected. This thing weighs about 80 pounds, probably a little less than that. Okay, watch your step over here. So, I will have this one set up right here next to that one. I have a rubber pad I'm going to set it on, so let me grab that real quick. A little wet outside, huh?
It sure is. We needed it though.
All right, you know, I feel really odd about doing this because this right here is like pretty expensive and I've never put a power supply like this out in the elements that's not protected. So we're gonna open that one real quick. We're gonna open up the other one I made just to see what the numbers look like. Let me get to it real quick. I don't want to keep it open too long because I don't want the equipment getting wet. 43%. It's losing about 4.2 amps. So yeah, we're gonna plug this one into that one and see how it performs.
Well, I think this is a really good test because it's actually putting it
through exactly what we want it to. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's make sure that this is powered on, 100%. You can see water on the screen. And the only thing I can't see right now is the button. So see if I can get some light on here real quick. There we go. So we need to turn AC on. It's a nice rubberized texture right there. So right now, it should start pushing power out to this battery box that I made. Okay, AC output, 14 watts. And see how that looks. That's working. We can see that the charger, the Noco Genius 5X1, which is a 5 amp charger, so it doesn't charge with a tremendous amount of power, but there you go. Okay, so you can see we're at only 0.83 amps negative. That should actually go into the positive here in a second once this thing gets going. There we go. Look at that, positive. And that should increase steadily. If we look at this over here, I think you have to press a button to turn the screen back on. There we go. Oh, hold on, turned it off. There we go. And turn AC back on. I'm gonna close this back up. It's actually pretty dark out here. All right, there we go. Now we're pumping wattage back into it. So we're just gonna leave this out in the elements. The rain tapered off a little bit, but it's supposed to rain all night. I don't have this in any type of a protected closure, nothing like that. It is just exposed out here on a rubber mat. The only reason I put it on a rubber mat is because there could be ants down here, and I would like to avoid ants getting into this if I can, but I wouldn't really call that adding any protection to it. This one has been out here for a while. It's bone dry on the inside. It's working perfectly. Very, very pleased with how this has been working. But again, I pieced this together with all sorts of different components. I have a full set of videos that's talking about how I built this. But I have absolutely been just wishing for a product like this, because this is super cool to have as a means to provide power in an environment where maybe you left this outside and it just started raining or just started getting exposed to the elements. To have the ability to have something like this just readily available is pretty dang awesome. AC turned on. Now we have 140 watts going out into this one, charging it, which again is exceeding the amount of power that's being pulled from it. So this is a really good test. Not only do we have it in the elements, but we have it recharging another battery that has a 5 amp charger hooked up to it, and you can see that everything's working really good so far. So it looks like at the rate it's currently discharging, we have 13.4 hours. This actually has greater capacity than the battery that's in there. The battery in there is going to be about 1,200, 1,300 watt hours worth of power. This one's 1,536. So this is greater than your typical 100 amp hour battery, and more like maybe a 120 amp hour battery in that range. Again, 2,400 watts. AC240. This thing is super cool, has a lot of built-in protection. If you're going to be charging it with solar, it has a built-in MPPT solar charge controller, which is awesome. I had to, of course, build that and add that into this system over here. It's got handles on it. It's all sealed up. A 30 amp connector built onto it, which means if we're boondocking out in an area with no power, we can connect the 30 amp plug directly to an RV and actually be able to power the AC if it's just a single AC for a while. If it's a low power AC, you can probably run it for a little bit more than a while. But this is just absolutely phenomenal. You know, it's got all these open holes, but everything inside of this is supposed to be sealed up really, really well. We're going to leave this out here, and we're going to leave it out here for a while. So we're going to let it recharge this, but then we'll probably hook some solar panels right here to this and have this be the main power source for the lighting for a while. But I really want to keep this out here for an extended period of time just to see how well it works. And my wife has more lights that she wants to connect out here, so we might actually run them both in tandem. Actually run this one to these lights and then plug this one into the additional lights that we set out here. Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I can't wait. I love these things.
Yep, and my daughter's approaching, I think, in a raincoat over there, right there. That's kind of eerie looking if you think about it. And she's got a sticker in her shoe. So I'm going to take care of the family. We're going to get inside so my family doesn't have to get out here and stay wet in the rain. So it is about noon the following day. I'm going to check everything out and see how it held up overnight. I'm suspecting the battery's probably dead on the Blue Yeti, but we'll see. Okay, so we're out here now. Yeah, Blue Yeti is dead. But is it only dead because it's out of juice? Oh, there we go. Yep, 0%. Looks like it held up well. This is at 50%. It's actually getting a little charge right now. Oh, well, this is going to be from solar. So now we have a little bit of super, super cloudy, overcast skies. It's been raining all day. Just got a break in it. And yeah, this thing's pretty much dead, but we've been using it out here and it doesn't look like it's been impacted negatively by the rain at all. So that is really cool. We're going to unplug it. We're going to take it back to the shop and go ahead and plug this thing in. But very cool. We'll use this as we need to use this. This is a great product, and I love the fact that it is IP65 rated. That in itself makes this really profoundly game-changing because, look at it, I can leave it out in the elements. I had to build this thing, and even then it's not going to be rated to the same level as this is, because this is going to be able to take water from any angle. You spray water up these ports, everything inside of here is going to get soaking wet. The only thing in here I think that's actually made to withstand that would be the NOCO Genius and the battery itself, because the battery is IP65 rated as well. It's an EcoFlow battery underneath here. But check this out. We're getting solar charge now. It's at 50%. Probably isn't going to charge up completely just because of the cloud cover, and it's not getting a tremendous amount of light right now. But that is really cool. I love the fact that Blue Yeti has this product now. This has just absolutely been something that's been needed, something that you don't have to fear leaving out next to your RV, well, except if it's going to get stolen, but then you can easily kind of chain it in place if you want to, because these handles are pretty significant, and it gives you a lot of capability that I think people have been asking for and been wanting in a portable battery station for a long time. Anyways, leave your thoughts below. We're going to keep working with this thing and continue subjecting it to all the different tests of Mother Nature. Anyways, guys, we'll put a link in the description of this video to this product if this is something you're interested in. Again, this is the AC240, 2400 watt, 1536 watt hours worth of power with the ability to connect to other devices, two 120 volt outlets, a 30 amp plug, USB-C, USB-A, 12 volt cigarette lighter style, plus the ability, again, to daisy chain this to other expansion packs that the folks at Blue Yeti offer. But very cool product. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.